So this is some of the other stuff I found. A half-working Honeywell fan, which I'll try to fix. If not, scrap. A Bissell vacuum cleaner, which I think the base of it's kind of shot because this wheel is like way out of alignment and there's weight on it. So it's probably shot. We'll see. If not, scrap. That's scrap. I needed the cord off of it because I'm running low on 3-wire cords, and plus the motor in it's probably good for scrap too. And then those of you guys with a keener eye can see a bunch of garbage and stuff in the back of the trailer. That's from my car. And I have a rental right now, which amazingly they gave me a mid-size Nissan Frontier. So I've been pretty happy with that, and what better use for it than to take it garbage picking. I wasn't at fault in the accident. Somebody actually hit my car in the parking lot. But also found a Home Depot bucket, good for sorting stuff into. A whole roll of caution tape was already in there, so naturally that went with it. Let me go ahead and just unload some of this stuff so you guys can see it better. We'll start with what's on the tailgate. Now these VCRs, believe it or not, there's a market for them on eBay, namely because they don't make brand new VCRs anymore. So those people that need a VCR for whatever reason, they're pretty much relegated to buying them secondhand. So I've actually had decent luck selling good working used VCRs over the years on eBay. So I always do make sure to pick them up when I see them because they're really easy to test. You just throw a tape in there, hook it up to a TV, and there you go. Now this one here is an old JVC. I don't know what year it was made, but I do know that stuff like these, oh wow, that's actually pretty old. 1979, 1980, it's probably somewhere around there. But older VCRs and video and audio equipment, some of it, as long as it's in good condition, will surprisingly go for a good amount of money. Now I haven't valued this thing to see what it sells for, but if it's worth it and it does in fact work, it might be worth something to somebody, so we'll see. This I just picked up on principle. Good old Sony boombox, probably still works. It needs a power cord though, which is no big deal. Then I found an Ativa paper shredder, which I believe this is Office Depot's brand, house brand. This seems to be okay. I don't know if it works yet or not. We'll check it out. And then there's the filter door and air filter for this Kenmore vacuum, which I didn't pick this thing up to fix it. I picked it up because I needed the cord, and I figured the bolt the motors in it, because this is a 2-motor vacuum, are good for scrap. So I have been gathering up all the bad motors and junk motors from vacuums and kind of grouping them all together. I do plan on making a scrap run eventually, and you guys will probably see the results of that. I also found this, which these kind of come in handy, but honestly I don't think they work all that well. At least this one I think might need to be cleaned up a little bit. I'll pick that up. This will be good for using around here. Looked like it was a yard sale item at one point, and they didn't sell it. Nobody bought it for $1. And they set it out to the curb with all this other crap. By the way, all this stuff came from, at least 20 different houses, so probably closer to 10 or 15, but you guys get the point. It didn't come from one house. I didn't find the mower that goes with this thing, but I always make a point and a habit to pick up lawnmower bags when I see them, especially if it's a very common brand like this Craftsman one. This bag is still in good enough condition that it's more than fine to stick it on a lawnmower that I'm going to be selling. So that's why I picked these up. And these bags, or these lawnmowers that take these bags, are so common around here. It's always good practice to pick them up. And then I found both of these Black & Decker yard tools. And they didn't come with the battery nor the charger. They probably work. I'm gonna see if I can source some cheap batteries for them and maybe a cheap charger. We'll see. But they're very similar to the work stuff that I already have, but I figured it good enough to have another pair for the house because I use the electric ones out here from time to time. But if it's worth it, I'll buy the batteries and the charger for them. But if it's not, probably just scrap them or something. And then I think that's, oh yeah, the bicycle and this grill. These grills come in handy, especially if you're trying to fix an old box fan and the plastic's been destroyed. You can cut one of these to size and retrofit it onto the fan. I've already done that with another one that I've got over there somewhere. But yeah, so this is a little bit different. I've picked up a couple bicycles. Most recently I picked one up about a few months ago and fixed it up. I didn't do any videos on it. There wasn't really a need to. But I looked up online and I saw that this one was still in good enough condition that there might be people on Craigslist or OfferUp that would want to buy this thing. It does need a tune-up. It does need to be serviced and fixed, and more than likely the back needs a tube put in it. I will try and service up both the wheels, or both the tires rather, and see if they hold air. I don't know how well that's going to work. Like I said, it does need some service. I need to somehow get this seat to stay on there. I need to tighten up the handlebars, adjust both the brakes, and probably service the chain and lube it up. But a Huffy Panama jack, and I think it's a 26-inch tires that are on them. Yeah, 26-inch, 26 by 2.125. So a little bit bigger as far as normal size tires go for bicycles, but I'll have to do some research and see what other comparable bikes are going for on Craigslist, and probably fix this one up. And if you guys want to see it, I'll do a video. I'll do a video or two on it. I don't have a problem doing that, but you know, I just don't know how many of you guys are interested in bicycles. But if you guys are interested, I'll do a video on it. And is that a bottle opener? That sure is what it looks like. That's pretty funny. But a nice hipster looking bicycle. Should be a good fix and flip, but we'll see. I also forgot to mention, I did pick up some other stuff. A Cuisinart blender, which works, but the controls are wonky. I haven't valued this thing up yet to see if it's worth fixing up, but it doesn't look like it's ever been used. That, or they replaced this, replaced the pitcher, but it seems to be in good enough condition. But the controls are a little screwy, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But where is the model number? 2H18? I don't think that's the model number. Oh, there it is. CB-600FPPC4. That's the model number. Not sure if it's worth the fix. I've seen these Cuisinart blenders all the way from, you know, $50 to up to at least a couple hundred. So I don't know what model this is, but it looks like this might be the reason they threw it away, is because the handle came apart. So again, depending on if it's worth fixing, I might have a really nice blender, even though I have a vintage good working Osterizer at the house. And then I also found a cheapo metal detector. I don't know if it works. There's no batteries in it, but I got this from the same house that I got that fan and standing lamp. So if it works, cool. If not, it's trash. This is the stuff I have here at the house. This is actually a pretty cool lamp, and it works. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know why they threw it away. I just had to tighten up the shade a little bit. Found a good working stand fan, which is in perfect condition. And then here is another house light, which also works. And I also found a new patio table, which I definitely needed one of these. My other one's small. It's about, I don't know, a quarter the size of this one. So hopefully that'll work out. So I plugged the paper shredder in and lo and behold, it doesn't work. And here's what's wrong with it. The gearing is completely stripped out. I use plastic spline gears on these, so it only figures that it's gonna shit the bed eventually. So scrap it is. So all the electronics have been pulled out of all that garbage, and I went through and organized a little bit more. Now I remember why I don't scrap stuff all the time. Honestly, I know I'm not going to get much for all this stuff. Really, I'm just, you know, it's either throw it in the garbage or get a little bit of money for it from the recycler. So this is all motors, and then this is all aluminum. All those fans came off of the motors. So I looked around, and it looks like the average price for motors is about, I'd say about 14 cents a pound. So I'm going to load that basket onto here and see what we get. About 40 pounds. It's reading 43, but we'll take 3 off just for the basket. Then we have the aluminum, which, pull out one of these to see how much it weighs. 1.6 ounces. So with some more estimations, we have about just over 2 pounds of aluminum, about 40 pounds of motors, and I haven't even gotten to this stuff yet, but it's probably not going to be much more. And this is the maths that I came up with. 40 pounds times 14 cents, $4.40. I found 45 cents a pound for cast aluminum. For 90 cents worth of that, so $5.30 grand total for about an hour's worth of work. And granted, I didn't have to do this, but I chose to just for fun, just to see. And that right there is why I don't bother scrapping almost 100% of the time for money. There's just not much money in it. If you want to basically get money for it, you need a reliable source of scrap. You also need a proverbial mountain of scrap every time you bring it in. And for me, I don't generate that much scrap, nor do I collect that much scrap to make it worth my time. And some of you guys out there, that's all you do is go and look for scrap. But in this area, almost everybody who's looking for trash at the curb, they're looking for scrap metal. There's hardly any money in it, and there's not enough for me to justify wasting my time on it, just for scrap value alone. So for the end of this video, went out one last time, picked up a Ryobi weed whacker, which I don't know if this thing works or not. Looks like it still has some line in it, 24 volt. But who knows if I ever come across a battery or not. I'll give that a try. I also found a good but faded gas can. Don't see any damage with it, so can never have too many of these. Been wanting to play with one of these for a while. This is a Auric XL professional air purifier. There's the model number. So it's a 2010. Now if I recall, these things were pretty expensive if somebody bought them new. Then I couldn't pass this up. Still works even. It's a Kenmore toaster, extra large. Then it looks like the last bit of stuff is a full kitchen dish set. So I haven't gone through this yet. I just saw that it was all in here, and obviously grabbed them all. Might be some mismatched stuff, but that'll be good for the house. I was in need of some more good looking glassware, so here we go. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. You all stay classy.